You know that feeling online, right? When you're just drowning in information, but you feel like you can't find the actual understanding.
Yeah, like you just need someone to cut through all that noise and tell you what really matters.
Exactly. And that's pretty much why we're here. Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a source that you've shared with us and really pull out the valuable insights.
Your shortcut to getting informed, basically.
Yeah.
And maybe finding a few surprising things along the way.
Today we're tackling something that feels absolutely vital for anyone with a website who wants to be seen in, say, 2025.
Right. Our listener for this session sent us an article from Orkshoy. That's Site Push Web. They're a company that does web design, SEO.
And they have this core belief, which I think really resonates, that, in the digital world, knowledge isn't just power.
It's the foundation of success. We definitely agree with that.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Our focus today, Google's EEAT algorithm, and specifically why it looks set to be even more critical for SEO next year in 2025.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. We want to understand what EET actually means.
What is it, and why is it so crucial for, search engine optimization, especially thinking about small and medium-sized businesses, online stores, those folks.
And most importantly, how can you, our listener, make sure you're actually aligning with these principles as we head into 2025?
So let's lay the groundwork then. What exactly is EEAT?
Right, okay, EEAT. It's essentially Google's set of criteria, like a yardstick, they use to evaluate the quality of content and the credibility of a website.
It's an acronym, right? EEAT.
Exactly. Each letter stands for something specific. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness.
Got it. Think of it as Google trying to ensure that the sites they recommend really, know their stuff. They use these 4 factors to check if the information you find is accurate, reliable.
And from credible sources, especially you mentioned for those YMYL topics.
Precisely. Your money or your life. Topics that directly impact someone's health, their financial security, or just general well-being. Google is extra careful there.
So why should you, our listener, trying to get your website noticed, really care about EAT for your SEO?
Well, because Google's main goal is giving searchers the best possible experience, and increasingly, that means pushing forward content that's high quality and credible. Simple, really.
So sites demonstrating strong EEAT, they're seen as more trustworthy.
Exactly. And that gives them a much better shot at ranking well. You really can't afford to ignore EET anymore. It can lead straight to decreased visibility, less traffic, basically SEO failure.
It's becoming foundational.
Absolutely. It's the bedrock.
The article we're looking at also pulled out some common questions people have, like who specifically needs to worry about this?
Short answer, pretty much everyone with a website. But it's definitely extra crucial if you're in those YMYL areas. And importantly, for small businesses and online stores trying to build their presence.
Okay. And another one do you need, like a PhD to show expertise?
No, not necessarily. The article makes a great point that real-world, hands-on experience and just being able to explain things well, that counts as expertise too, especially outside those really critical YMYL fields.
Like the skilled mechanic example they used.
Exactly. Years of fixing cars, that's expertise.
And the big one for many, customer reviews. How important are they really?
Oh, incredibly important. They directly feed into trustworthiness. Plus, they show real experience customers have had. It's like real-world proof.
Okay, makes sense. We've got the basics down. Now, let's really dig into these 4 pillars of EAT, starting with the newest one, experience.
Right, the first E. What's really interesting about experience is how it shows Google focusing more on, the practical first-hand knowledge of whoever created the content.
They want to know if you've actually done the thing.
Pretty much. Have you used the product, visited the place, actually engaged with the topic directly? It's about that real involvement.
Like the article's example, a restaurant review from someone who actually ate there versus someone just looking at the menu online.
Exactly. That authentic, real-world interaction. That's what Google values more now.
And Site Web predicts this will be even more important in 2025.
Yeah, they reckon so. Especially with all the AI-generated content popping up, being able to show real human experience, that's going to be a key way to stand out, to cut through that noise.
So for you, the learner listening right now, how can you actually boost that experience factor on your site?
Well, the article suggests providing real objective proof. Show exclusive photos or videos you took yourself.
Oh, okay.
Give detailed personal accounts of processes you've gone through, maybe challenges you faced, unique insights you gained from doing it yourself. It's about showing that genuine connection. Show, don't just tell.
Got it. Show, don't just tell. Okay, next up, expertise. This one feels a bit more familiar.
It is, yeah. Expertise is all about the depth of knowledge and skill the creator has on the topic. Do they actually have the background to talk about this? Is their knowledge up to date, comprehensive?
And expertise isn't just about degrees, right? The article mentions different forms.
Precisely. It could be academic qualifications, sure, but also professional certifications, a long work history, years of practical experience.
Or just being really good at explaining complex stuff clearly.
Exactly, that counts too. Of course, for those critical YMYL topics, formal expertise is often, well, essential. You want a doctor giving medical advice, right?
Right. But it's good to remember, like the article says, it's not only about credentials. The person fixing vintage radios for 30 years, they're an expert.
Definitely. So how do you show this expertise online?
Good question.
Author bios are key. Make them detailed qualifications, experience, maybe awards, and then the content itself. Is it accurate, thorough? Does it really show deep understanding? That speaks volumes.
Okay, moving on to authoritativeness. This sounds like it's about your overall reputation in your field.
That's exactly it. Authoritativeness is about the reputation and recognition of the creator, or the website itself, within its subject area. Do others see you as credible? Do they reference your work?
And you can't just claim that, can you? How do you actually build?
No, you definitely earn it over time. Usually through consistently creating high-quality, valuable stuff. Key things are inbound links, backlinks from other respected sites. They're like endorsements, mentions, incredible publications help too, and just being active and respected in your industry community.
The article compared it to a real-world professional reputation. Makes sense.
It does. The more respected people trust you, the higher your authority. For a website specifically, things like domain authority, the number and quality of those backlinks, even the site's age and history play a role.
All right, last one. Trustworthiness. You said this might be the most important.
I think so, yeah. It really is fundamental. It boils down to, can people trust the information you give? Can they feel safe interacting with your site? Without trust, the other E's, they don't mean much.
And trust covers a few different things, according to the article.
Yes, it's the accuracy of your content, obviously. Transparency, who wrote this? Where did the info come from? Site security is huge, that little HTTPS padlock. Clear privacy policies, easy to find contact info, and those customer reviews we talked about. They all signal you're reliable, responsible.
And for e-commerce sites, there's even more to it.
Absolutely. For online stores, trust also involves the security of the checkout process, being upfront about pricing and shipping, having clear return policies.
And good customer support.
Crucial. If people don't feel safe paying or confident they can sort out problems, trust just disappears. Like the article says, a lack of trustworthiness can just negate all your other efforts.
Okay, so EEAT wasn't just invented yesterday. It has a history.
That's right. The original concept, EAT expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, that was formally introduced way back in 2013.
With Google's Search Quality Rater guidelines.
Exactly. Those are the guidelines for the human reviewers who check search result quality. While the guidelines don't directly rank sites, the criteria show what Google prioritizes.
And initially, ET was more focused on those YMYL topics.
It was, yeah. The emphasis was stronger there at first.
But it seems like these ideas just got more important over time with algorithm updates.
Definitely. Through various core updates, Google got better at spotting and rewarding sites with strong EAT signals across more types of content. Things like who links to you, brand mentions, user reviews, consistent accuracy, clear author info.
And then, late 2022, came experience. The first E. That was a big shift, wasn't it?
It really was. Adding experience officially made it EEAT. And it showed up in the updated writer guidelines. It clearly signaled Google wanted to value content from real first-hand experience, not just theory or summaries.
Moving towards practical application, direct involvement.
Exactly.
And the article suggests this was partly because of all the AI content.
That's a really sharp point. With AI getting so good at generating text, adding experience gives Google a way to distinguish, genuinely human-created, authentic content from stuff that might be factually okay but lacks that real-world touch.
So the whole evolution of EAT just shows Google constantly learning, adapting.
Absolutely. Adapting to users, adapting to the web. But the core goal stays the same. Give people relevant, accurate, reliable results. EAT is just a framework helping them do that. Understanding that history helps see why it's so central now.
Okay, we get what it is, where it came from. But let's really hammer home why it's so vital for your SEO.
Right. At its heart, EEAT is basically Google's measure of quality and high quality content. It just has a much better chance of ranking well. But let's unpack the why a bit more.
Well, it lines up directly with Google's main mission, as the article notes.
Precisely. Google wants to give the best answers, and the best answers usually come from sources with solid expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, and now, real experience. So by showing strong EEA, you're helping Google do its job.
And even though EEAT isn't like one single ranking factor you can optimize.
Right, it's not like a keyword density score or something.
It still heavily influences many factors that are ranking signals.
Absolutely. Take backlinks. Authoritative sites naturally get more good links, and links are a huge factor. Or think about user engagement. High quality, trustworthy content that shows experience. People stick around longer, bounce less. Those are good signals.
Positive reviews, online reputation too.
Yep. Sites with good EEAT tend to get better reviews, build a better reputation. Even things like site structure, security, user experience, they often improve when you focus on EEE principles.
And it's even more critical for YMYL topics, we keep saying that.
It's non-negotiable there. When bad info can cause real harm, Google has to be incredibly strict about EET.
Looking ahead, the article also mentioned EEAT helps future-proof your site.
That's a great point. As AI evolves, as search changes maybe more conversational queries, Google needs to understand the who behind the content, the credibility. Focusing on EET builds that understanding, makes you more resilient to algorithm changes.
So the main message for you, the learner, isn't just about some SEO trick.
Exactly. It's really a content creation philosophy. It's about committing to real value, accuracy, transparency about who you are and what you know. It's a long game, but it benefits everyone, your audience, and your rankings. Ignoring it now, you're falling behind.
The article even included a useful table summarizing the EET dimensions with examples for small businesses and e-commerce.
Yeah, that's super helpful. It shows how these ideas become concrete actions, like experience for a local bakery might be the owner sharing stories about learning to bake.
Right, and for an online store, maybe customer photos using the product.
Exactly. Expertise for a consultant could be white papers. For a retailer, detailed product specs. Authority for a local business might be local press. For e-commerce, maybe partnerships with big brands.
And trustworthiness, clear contact info, secure checkout for both. But e-commerce also needs those clear shipping and return policies.
Spot on. It translates differently depending on the business.
Okay, we get the why. Now the how. What are some solid, actionable steps listeners can take to optimize for EEAT heading into 2025?
Right. Optimizing is, it's a pretty holistic thing. It touches almost everything you do online. It's about actively showing quality, transparency, credibility, building that foundation.
Let's break it down, starting with experience. What can people do right now?
Focus on content that shows you were there. Share original case studies, talk about using your own products, write detailed how-tos you've actually done yourself, use your own photos and videos. That's huge.
Okay. Visual proof.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to add relevant personal insights or anecdotes while still being professional, of course. It makes it more real.
Makes sense. How about showing expertise more clearly?
Beef up those author bios, credentials, relevant history, awards. Make the content itself really in-depth, accurate. Show you understand the topic thoroughly. Use technical terms if needed, but explain them clearly.
And citations.
Crucial. Back up your claims. Link out to reputable sources, original research, industryreports.gov, or .edu sites. Show your work, basically.
All right. How can sites actively boost authoritativeness?
Create really great content that people want to link to. That's number one. Get involved in your industry podcasts, webinars, conferences, write for trade publications.
Get your name out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Increase brand mentions online, even without links. Social media, directories, it all helps signal authority.
And finally, practical steps for trustworthiness.
Be transparent. Clear contact info address if you have one, phone, email, contact form. Make policies easy to find and understand privacy, terms, returns, shipping.
HTTPS is a must, right?
Absolutely. Secure the whole site. For e-commerce, lock down those transactions. Respond to comments and feedback. And showcase genuine customer reviews on your site and elsewhere.
It definitely sounds like this isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No way. It's an ongoing commitment. A long-term strategy for your overall online quality and reputation. It's bigger than just the content.
Now, the article did mention specific challenges for small and medium-sized businesses trying to do all this?
Yeah, SMBs often have fewer resources, less time, smaller teams than big companies. Building authority can be harder when you're smaller or local, and competing with huge established sites, that's tough.
But they also have some unique strengths, didn't the article say?
Definitely. SMBs often have incredibly deep first-hand experience because the owners are right there in the trenches. They usually have closer customer relationships, which builds trust, and many are experts in a very specific niche.
So how can SMBs use those strengths and overcome the challenges for EET?
The key seems to be focusing on quality over quantity. Create less content, maybe, but make it really good, reflecting that real experience and niche expertise. Use local platforms, industry groups, to build authority in their specific space. And double down on transparency and great customer service to build trust.
What about e-commerce specifically? How can they use EEAT to get ahead?
Oh, huge opportunities there. Showcase product experience with reviews, customer videos, user guides. Demonstrate expertise with detailed specs, buying guides, expert advice. Build authority through awards, press mentions, links from review sites, influencer collaborations.
And trustworthiness is king for e-commerce, right?
Absolutely paramount.
Yeah.
Site security, clear policies on shipping returns, prominent reviews, responsive support guarantees. All crucial for building that confidence needed to click buy.
The article's table comparing SMB versus e-commerce focus really highlights those differences.
It does. A local shop might focus on community ties, while an online store needs to nail the product details and secure transaction feel. It's about tailoring the approach.
Okay, so you put in the work, you're optimizing for EET. How do you know if it's actually, working? How do you measure this?
Great question. There isn't like a single EEAT score you can look up, but you can definitely track the key SEO metrics that EEAT influences. Watching how those change gives you a really good idea.
So what specific metrics should listeners be watching?
You'll want to monitor keyword rankings, obviously, organic traffic levels, bounce rate and time on page, are people sticking around, click-through rate from search results.
Backlinks too.
Yeah, the number and quality of backlinks you're getting, brand mentions across the web, the volume and sentiment of online reviews, and ultimately conversion rates, sales, leads, whatever your goal is.
And what tools help track all that?
Google Analytics and Google Search Console are your starting point, absolutely essential. Then you've got powerful third-party SEO tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush. They give deeper insights into backlinks, rankings, mentions.
And the key is regular analysis.
Absolutely. Look at the data consistently. Are those experience-focused posts boosting engagement? Did that expert guide earn good links? Are reviews improving since you clarified your policies? That regular check-in tells you what's working and where to focus next.
Makes sense? The article also pointed out the role of linking internal and external in strengthening EAT. Sometimes overlooked.
It can be, yeah. But linking is like the web's credibility network. Google uses those connections to understand relationships and authority. A good linking strategy really supports EEAT.
So internal links first. Linking between pages on your own site. How does that help?
Smart internal linking spreads authority around your site. Linking from a strong page, like an About Us with team expertise, to a relevant blog post passes some credibility. It also shows the depth of your content on a topic and improves user experience by helping people find related info, which kind of supports the experience aspect too.
Okay, and external links, both coming in and going out.
Right. Inbound links, backlinks from other reputable sites are huge signals of authoritativeness and trustworthiness. A link from a respected site is like a vote of confidence.
And outbound links, linking from your site to others.
Also important, linking out to credible sources, research reports, official sites shows your content is well-researched and trustworthy. It backs up your claims. This boosts expertise and trust, especially in YMYL areas where you want to avoid any hint of misinformation. So yeah, a solid linking strategy signals credibility.
We've mentioned YMYL quite a bit. Let's spend a moment really focusing on why EET is just so much more critical there.
Okay, so YMYL. Your money or your life covers topics where bad information could seriously harm someone's health, finances, safety, or happiness. Because the stakes are so high, Google applies much, much stricter quality standards. EET becomes absolutely vital.
And the main categories are things like finance, health, legal advice.
Exactly. Financial planning, medical info, legal help, safety procedures, government civic info, even e-commerce checkout pages where money changes hands. All areas where trust and accuracy are just non-negotiable.
So why is EEAT so much more important for YMYL content?
Because the potential for real-world harm is massive. Bad medical advice, devastating. Bad financial advice, ruinous. Google has a huge responsibility not to promote harmful misinformation. So they demand higher levels of expertise, licensed professionals, recognized experts.
Higher authoritativeness, too.
Definitely, from highly reputable, established sources. And trustworthiness needs to be rock-solid security, transparency, clear evidence of public trust. Experience can add context sometimes, like personal health stories, but it never replaces professional expertise in YMYL.
So for YMYL sites, investing in EAT isn't just good SEO.
It's an ethical necessity, absolutely.
The article wrapped up with a really useful FAQ section, tackling common questions about EAT.
Yeah, it hit the main ones. Is EEAT a direct ranking factor? Not exactly, but influences them heavily. Why add experience? How to improve EET? Is it only for YMYL? No, but crucial there. How does AI content affect it? It can be negative, if not done well. How does Google know your EEAT through signals built over time? How long does it take to see results? It's a long game.
And it had those summary tables, again, EET dimensions and strategies, and how different content types boost different aspects.
Those visuals are great. Really reinforce the key points and give practical ideas, like seeing how case studies boost experience and trust, while expert interviews hit expertise and authority.
The article then circled back briefly to SMBs and e-commerce, applying EET specifically to them again.
Yeah, just reinforcing those tailored approaches. SMBs leveraging their niche expertise and experience, e-commerce nailing product proof and transaction trust, highlighting the need for specific strategies based on strengths and weaknesses.
And one last mention of measuring and monitoring effectiveness.
Right, just driving home the point. Keep tracking those key metrics with tools like Search Console and Analytics. Watch the off-site signals like links and mentions. Consistent monitoring is key to knowing what's working.
Okay, let's try and bring this all together. What's the single biggest takeaway message our listeners should get from this deep dive into EEAT?
I think the main thing is EEAT isn't just some technical SEO jargon. It's fundamentally about quality, credibility, and trust. It's not a fad, it's essential for long-term SEO success in 2025 and definitely beyond. Investing in it is investing in your online future.
And it's not about tricking Google, is it?
Not at all. It's about building a website that is genuinely seen as authoritative and trustworthy in your field. That helps your ranking, sure, but more importantly, it helps your audience. It's about creating real value.
Ultimately, focusing on EAT leads to some pretty tangible benefits, according to the article.
Absolutely. You're looking at more organic traffic, better conversion rates because people trust you, more customer loyalty because you're a reliable source, and just a stronger overall brand reputation online. It's all interconnected.
So the call to action for you, the learner, is really to focus on creating that genuine value.
Precisely. Aim to provide real value for search engines, yes, by meeting their quality standards, but especially for your human users. Deliver high-quality, accurate, trustworthy content. Be transparent about who you are. Build authority. Create a secure environment.
Okay, here's a final thought for you, learner, to chew on as you navigate all this. Think about the long-term power of building real authority and genuine trust online. Go beyond just chasing rankings for a moment. In a world overflowing with information, how does truly committing to experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness make your online presence more resilient, more respected, and ultimately just more valuable? That's something worth exploring further.